You wanna hear some jokes? People were like, pagsasabi na ito. You can't fake a reaction. Pag natawa sila, gusto kong tinatawanan ako. I like that validation. For me, yun yung, yeah, you exist.
Like, how tedious is it in the creative sense? Kung
Okay.
Paano kayo mag-prepare for like punchlines and jokes like that?
It really takes years for you to master a specific set. Because you won't be promoted to 5 minutes if you can't make people laugh in 3 minutes.
Can you tell us an experience where you told a joke, it bombed, and then how did you bounce back from that?
Hi everyone, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. I forgot my script because I'm married now, so mas marami na akong iniisip. And baka nagugulat kayo, I like parang naging fresh ka, parang mas naging mas naging cool ka ngayon. I know. Maraming nagbago sa life ko right now, and I'm here not to update you about my life because I have a very special guest. Itutuloy ko ba ito?
Parang tumangkad ka.
Ha?
Kasi, hindi, alam ko.
Yeah. Paano siya ipapakilala? Alright, sige, papakilala. Okay, papakilala ko muna tong guest na to bago siya magtuluyang magsalita at bago siya tuluyang makancel. This person is very personal to me, very important to me. Very special to me dahil actually siya sa mga pet peeve ko kasi galit siya sa mga naka-Android phones. Best person in the world.
Yes.
Leland Lim. Huwag niyong palakpakan.
Thank you, Alec, for having me.
Yeah, naman.
Grabe, iba ka pala sa personal, no?
Yeah.
6'1" ka pala sa personal.
6'1". 6'2" pag naka-heels.
Pag naka-heels. So,
Yeah.
grabe ang diamond tattoo. Hindi siya visible sa ibang episodes, no?
Yeah.
Ngayon lang siya lumalabas.
Dami na nagbago sa life. Bro, I think closure to, nating dalawa, sa podcast natin nung December.
Oo.
No, kailangan kong ipagtanggol yung pangalan ko, yung sarili ko kasi nasira yung pangalan ko sa Android community dahil sa podcast natin.
So, wala ka brand deals? Hindi naman.
Hindi naman.
Kasi
pero,
ako hindi nila tinuloy eh.
Hindi.
Nung lumabas.
Totoo ba?
So, funny thing.
Totoo.
Before natin i-record, hindi man following, 2 days after, may inquiry. May inquiry ng Android
Okay.
brand.
Mhm.
Tapos sabi ko, hindi naman siguro nila mapapansin.
Mhm.
Tapos nung nagbigay na ako, hindi na binaligan.
Hindi ka na, bro, perspective lang yan. Feeling ko, babalikan ka nila at yung phone nilang gamit pang email sa'yo naka-Android, matagal lang mag-response.
Okay, kasi kung iOS yun, nakalagay sent from iPhone eh. Wala eh.
Wala.
So,
Android yung gamit pang email, kaya matagal ka na replyan.
tapos minessage ko yung number doon, naging green eh.
Hindi blue?
Hindi.
Bawal mag...
Ganun eh. Hindi ganun. So, thank you.
Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. My name is Alec Cuenca and I am your host. And bago tayo magsimula, nagustuhan niyo ba yung bit kanina dito? Sorry guys, hindi ako yung unang lumabas.
Talaga ba?
Dun sa show. But that's just a good Easter egg from my good friend Melo. Kasi the guest that we have right now is also someone who also has a podcast. Meron din siyang podcast and in-interview niya si Melo kaya they know each other. But I am just really grateful. Before we start, of course, really grateful for everyone na nandito ngayon. If you have not subscribed yet and you're on YouTube, click that subscribe button bago tayo magsimula. Dahil almost 70% who are watching the videos are not yet subscribed, which is crazy. So please click that subscribe button, like, comment, support the podcast because it helps us grow. But yeah, again, super excited for this episode and you probably click this because the person na nakita nyo sa thumbnail or sa title natin is someone na nakikita nyo rin sa mga feed nyo kasi ako lately dumadaan talaga to sa feed ko. But more than that, his podcast, yung which is named Walang Edit podcast, is just rising up through the charts and it's just a really fun podcast to listen to. And I'm really excited to have him on the show to learn more about his journey and at the same time learn more about him as well. So let's all welcome Leland Lim. Leland, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alec. Big fan of the pod also.
Yeah.
It's good to be here. And dito ako sa very iconic orange curtain as background. So, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. No, alam mo yung agent sa curtain na yan, isa sa mga peg ko is like si Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Si Joe Rogan kasi, alam mo pag sa Joe Rogan podcast siya, di ba, in a sense.
And with you, when it's orange, is Alec.
Parang ganun.
Yeah.
Yun
Ganda ng
nilalagay
palette.
ko. Yeah. But I want to learn more about you.
Sure.
The podcast. Walang edit. Tell me the story. Like, how did it come into your life?
I think it's very unintentional what happened because I went through a rebranding stage. So originally, my podcast was birthed during pandemic era. So this was when everybody's indoors, ganyan. So it's called Let Leland Lim. So ito yung during sa campaigning era nung previous election. So sabi ko, may magandang ring yung Let something lead. So parang sabi ko, hindi, sige, Let Leland Lim. And it was a suggestion, not a suggestion, pero it was from a comment during a online comedy show. So there's this show by The Cool Pals. I was one of the openers on that show. Tapos merong nagko-comment habang nagsiset ako. So tumatawa sila. May nagko-comment. #Let Leland Lim. From the very iconic Let Lenny Lead campaign. So sabi ko, wala siyang sense. Pero may ring eh. May something eh. And all of my followers that I have now, not a lot, pero most of them, or at least siguro a good number of them, came from the stand-up community during the pandemic. So parang medyo homage din siya na sige gamitin ko, Let Leland Lim. And the podcast was all about my experience as a stand-up comic here in the Philippines. And then it grew and I got absorbed by a network.
Yeah.
And then I told them, pwede ba natin i-rebrand? Kasi hindi gets nung iba eh. Ano?
Tapos na, parang ganun.
Oo, para okay, medyo hindi siya sustainable. But people were still listening. Sabi ko, can I go through rebranding? And walang edit is, ang inspiration yan kasi, hindi talaga ako mahilig mag-edit ng podcast episodes. Siguro excuse ko lang minsan yung gusto ko unfiltered, ganyan. Pero I really don't wanna edit. The moment na tapos na yung record, gusto ko na i-post. Ayoko nang maghintay na hindi, kailangan perfect everything. Hindi, gusto ko medyo raw and unfiltered, walang kinakat. Even yung mga quiet moments, gusto ko i-capture lahat.
Yeah.
So, kaya walang edited. Even yung title, black and white lang siya. hindi siya masyado pinag-isipan.
Yeah. But I love it kasi naalala ko nung nagsisimula ako, it was, parang nakuha ko yung ganong sense din eh, na parang, i-post na natin. Ako, if you go back to my 100 episode, guys, kung pakinggan nyo yun, sobrang unfiltered na maririnig ko pa yung tahol ng aso. Tapos parang, guys, wait lang patahimik ko lang yung aso. So patahimik. So maririnig ng audience, so feeling ko yung iba habang nagda-drive sila, parang natututo sila, tapos biglang, wait lang guys, patahimikin ko yung aso. Tapos may pause. Tapos hindi ko tinatanggal.
Tapos tumahimik, may adobo ka na sa harap. Hindi naman. Joke lang. Okay.
Hindi pwede.
Hindi pwede.
Ano pa lang, buti audio pa lang. So hindi nila malalaman.
Audio pa lang.
Audio pa
that
lang.
time.
Audio pa
This
lang.
was pandemic.
Pandemic time.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, for you, ganun din. Like, ayaw mo mag-edit, you just wanted to go. But, ang ironic, kasi yun pa yung mas nag-catch ng attention ng mga tao.
Yeah. I can't put a finger on it kung ano yung mismong nagdala ng listenership dun sa podcast. Is it the rebranding or is it because I've been posting more online? Kasi the thing with podcasts, kinokopya ko lang yung format ng iba in promotion eh. Kunyari, for example, Cool Pals, it's the biggest comedy podcast in the Philippines, obviously. And it's because outside of those 5 to 6 people, all of them are headliners. Funniest group of people in the Philippines. Yung promotion nila is insane. Like, they started the group and it became exclusive to that specific group. Pero yung group na yun, lumaki ng lumaki because of exclusivity. And gusto ko makuha yung parang, okay, tight-knit. I know it's a community, but it's every inside joke, every reference, the listeners know which episode to go back to and to listen to it again to understand more about that reference. So, I'm trying to recraft it, that kind of marketing in my own community. Okay, I'll start hindi naman siya kulto eh. Like, it's a group where everyone has the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Alam mo, parang bubuo ka ng isang malaking barkada na nag-guess nyo lahat ng punchlines, lahat ng jokes, na walang judgment. So that's what I'm trying to build.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's me or it's the rebranding of walang edit-edit. But for whatever reason, it's working.
Yeah.
So I tried not to think about it that much.
Yeah.
Yun.
Oh my gosh. Guys, dahil dyan nakakuha ako ng idea, we'll launch a Facebook group as well. Pakinggan ko kasi yung podcast nyo, magto-2,000, goal nyo mag-2,000.
So FB group.
Facebook group, yeah.
Ang weird kasi yung listenership, hindi siya nagta-translate dun sa group.
Sa community.
Which,
So, saan mo na-meet tong mga community?
they're all over the place. Kasi whenever we do invitations na, oy, if gusto nyo makinig during the podcast, punta lang kayo and then just sign up here. Sa group lang namin ito ginagawa, Facebook group. And then laging puno. So sabi ko, bakit iba yung following sa podcasts? Iba kasi may following sa Spotify, diba?
Yes.
Iba yung following sa Facebook group. So, mas marami, of course, syempre sa Spotify, pero it doesn't translate. Siguro 50% lang yung nagta-translate sa group or less nga eh. So, parang, okay, how do I put these followers in this? So, I start promoting the Facebook group during the episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I do it all the time. And then, lumalaki. I mean, 2,000 is not that big sa Facebook group, pero it's enough to make us at least, visible sa charts and for them to share the content.
Yeah. No, I believe in the rule of 1,000 and everything. Na parang kung meron kang 1,000 people na solid, like yung talagang manonood sa'yo, suporta sa'yo, like okay ka na eh. Like, hindi mo na kailangan, like, okay, you're okay na. Yung alagaan mo lang yung 1,000 na yun.
Yes.
But I'm curious for you, when you started this, so you're doing this nung pandemic pa lang, you're also doing stand-up, were you always in the creative scene? And how did you really start with, doing this as a career?
Thank you for asking that. Kasi not a lot of people actually get to ask where I came from. Not that there are a lot of people who know me, but it's never on the table. But I always, not always, pero minsan nababanggit ko sa podcast ko yung origin ng creative career, if I may. Nanggaling ako sa advertising kasi. So I was in advertising for 10 years. So it was my first job. 2016 ako gumrado, 2016 ako nagtrabaho sa advertising as a writer, as a copywriter. So sa mga hindi alam kung ano yung copywriter, ito yung mga nagsusulat ng tagline sa ads. Kunyari, Jollibee, tagline nila, bida ang saya, mga ganun. Alaska, wala pa rin tala sa Alaska. Sorry kung nababanggit ko itong mga brands na to.
meron ka bang
Lockout?
Hindi, meron ka bang tagline na sinulat, like your best?
Meron naman, but it's something na, okay, pinaka-memorable siguro na nasulat ko na tagline was during my first 2 years in advertising. For some reason, I always go back to that. It's wala na nga yung app ngayon. It's a lending app before. There's this thing called Lender.
Mm-hmm.
And usually what it does is, usually pag nag-apply tayo ng loan sa bangko, tayo yung nagpapa-approve ng loan natin, diba?
Yeah.
But this time around, this app, ikaw na mismo yung mag-a-approve anong bangko yung gusto mong utangan. So, reverse na yung roles. Hindi na ikaw na mag-a-approve ngayon. So, from that insight, of course, we have a team. But I was the writer for that team. And then the line that we came out with was, Lender, loans na approve sa'yo. So, parang it's not on a very consumer perspective, hindi siya, ang ganda nun lagyan natin jingle. But from a creative's perspective, gagi, ang ganda nung spin. Ang ganda. Ako, ito yung mundo dati, ngayon ikaw naman gagawa niya.
Yeah. And hindi nababansin ng mga tao yun. It's actually harder for you to like think or parang write words in 10 words
Yep.
compared to writing an essay. Like, mas
Yeah.
mahirap na konti
Totoo.
yung sabihin mo. Mag-isip ng tagline talaga.
Yeah.
Kaya so, hangang-hanga talaga ako sa mga copywriters, sa mga ads as well. So,
Yeah. Quit na kayo. Hindi, joke lang.
okay, kwento. Go.
So yeah, from there I became a copywriter, associate creative director to creative director, and then I thought I was gonna be not stuck, but I was gonna be locked in all throughout the advertising industry. Pero I've come to my senses na okay, parang na-exhaust ko na lahat eh. Hindi naman sa walang growth. There's
Yeah.
always growth. Pero I wanted to pursue my childhood or teenage fantasy or dream, which was to become a stand-up comedian. I was influenced by my dad during high school. High school pa lang to eh. Like, he was always watching Seinfeld, Louis C.K. before he got canceled. Chris Rock, yung
Oh
mga
my gosh,
ganyan.
OGs.
A lot of people, si Carlin. So, if medyo hindi familiar yung mga names, search nyo na lang. But they're one of the greatest stand-up comedians in history. Most of them are Americans. And I was influenced heavily that when I got to college, when I was studying philosophy, ginawa kong thesis yung stand-up comedy. Yeah. So, my thesis was very edgy. Alam mo naman yung mga philo major. Does God exist, bro? Mga gano'n. Pwede bang maligo muna kayo? So sa akin, yun, ginawa ko siyang thesis and it got a very high score. So sa akin, there's something here. And then I didn't think too much about it. I went into working, advertising. I tried stand-up comedy the first time in an open mic sa
Okay.
Mo's Matalino Street. Every Wednesday yung stand-up comedy doon. And I went in 2018. I did my 3-minute set, very first set. I had a very few laughs. And it was 5 people lang naman eh, nanonood eh. So few laughs would
Yeah.
would brighten up your day. And I liked how that felt. Alam mo yung instant validation na may sinabi kang something and very honest, you can't fake a reaction eh. Pag natawa sila, shit, gusto ko yung ganun. Gusto kong tinatawanan ako. And I don't want to say na, hindi, gusto ko lang magpasaya ng tao. Hindi eh, gusto kong tinatawanan nyo. I like that validation. For me, yun yung, yeah, you exist. I see you. Thank you for making me laugh. That sort of exchange is what I love the most.
Yeah.
In stand-up comedy. And the feeling has always been irreplaceable. Like, you can name all of the emotions that there are. It doesn't match what I get from that kind of reception from a crowd. Doesn't matter how many. It could be 5 people, 100 people, 2 people. I performed in front of 1 person.
Talaga?
Yeah. So parang, to me, irreplaceable. It's not about, of course, if hindi ka mabubuhay, kailangan mo ng pera dun eh. Pero if I could have all of the money in the world and do this for free and have that kind of reaction, I would do it as long as bubuhay mo ako.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, to summarize everything, I hope that's...
So when was the time that you said, okay, let's do stand-up comedy? Was it more of like a slowly na pinagsabay mo siya?
Yeah.
Or more of like, you know what? Ayoko na magsulat, ayoko na mag-ads, advertising, dito na ako sa stand-up comedy.
The thing is, very parallel kasi yung process ng creative people in advertising and creative people in stand-up comedy. And I know a normal person with an outsider's perspective won't realize it. But the process is the same.
Yeah.
To answer your question first, yes, pinagsabay ko. I was working until nakakuha ko ng enough gigs to sustain my lifestyle every month. Nag-quit ako. Last year lang ako nag-quit eh, 2025. But to tell you frankly, pareho kasi yung experience ko sa dalawang industry. And I know not a lot of people would relate to it. Pag gumagawa ka ng joke, most of the time it's you have an insight that you want to share to the world. Di ba? May observation ka na very funny and then you land it with a story and with a punchline. Same thing with ads. You have this very good, unique observation or insight that's based on human fact that you want to share. Ang punchline mo lang is yung brand. Diba? So, to me is the same. Oh, they're both playing with observations and perspectives, and it's very relatable to everyone. You just don't realize it yet.
Yeah.
So laging ganun yung thinking ko about those two art forms.
Okay.
I consider advertising as an art also. So yun, that's how I see it.
Interesting. You see ad as an art form. Even before you got
Yes.
into the industry, you enjoyed, and you mentioned you were a philo major.
Yes.
Tama? So, ever since talaga, ano na talaga, and on the left side of the brain, like parang ganun, medyo creative
I think
side.
so.
right?
I'm not so sure.
How did, take me back pa.
Sa philosophy.
Like, maybe high school. Like,
Okay,
did
okay.
you know na parang you wanted to go the creative path, or paano ko napunta sa philo side, ganun?
Okay. Good question. I think this is the first time that I'll talk about it. So my dad was a philo major also
That's okay.
in UST. And for the longest time, parang hindi naman sa ginugroom niya ako into wanting to become a lawyer or something. Pero ginroom niya ako. So parang, okay, ganda to pag nag-law ka. Ganyan-ganyan. And I didn't know what to take up during college days. During high school, before I go to college, I didn't know what to do. I studied in a very technical school in high school, Don Bosco, Mandaluyong,
Okay.
technical siya. So, pipili ka, engineering this, wiring that. Ayoko lahat. Sabi ko talaga, ito lang yung choices. Walang artsy shit dito. So, parang, I consulted with my dad. Sabi niya, gusto mo mag-philosophy? Hindi mo naman alam gagawin mo eh. So sabi ko, okay, ano siya? Anong gagawin ko doon? We're gonna talk about ideas, insights, ganyan. Is God, sobrang big fan ako ng mga comedy na Does God Exist jokes. Kunyari, George Carlin. If God exists, ganyan, blah, blah, blah. And my mom grew up very Catholic. And so as we were before. So parang sa akin, interesting lahat ng nangyayari sa religion and beliefs. To me, all of those things are interesting. And I wanted to learn more about it. That's why I took up philosophy. Not knowing na prilo siya. So nalaman ko lang na prilo siya
Checkmate ka.
nung mag-e-exam na ako. So, checkmate mismo. Parang sabi ko, okay, wala na, nandito na ako. E di, check ko na lang what's inside for me. And then, what's in it for me. And then, first day, nag-usap agad kami sa, okay, sila Socrates. Sabi niya, the wisest man in the world doesn't know a thing at all. Mga ganong shit na, oh, wow! May mga wordplay. Ang wise nun, ha? I see what you did there. Mga ganon. So, parang, grabe yung stimulation sa akin. And then, I loved it. Second year, loved it more. Third year, naging exponentially nag-grow yung love ko for philosophy. And then, correlating it to stand-up, it's the same thing. They're talking about, Louis C.K., I'm not even afraid to talk about it. But before he got canceled, he was the top comedian in the world. It was during 2010 to, meron siyang stint na 2009 to 2013. Anyway, that search it up na lang. So, I wanted to be that kind of artists or comedian or entertainer na parang, shit, gusto kong magpatawa ng mga ganyan tao based on how I see the world. And not to glaze stand-up comedians. Kasi a lot of people are saying na, yung mga stand-up comedians, sila ang modern philosophers, ganyan. We're really not. We're just pointing out the things we see.
Yeah.
And I know that some people see stand-up comedians na medyo edgy, na parang, medyo pa-cool, ganyan. Pero the fact that people are laughing, it means that they relate to the feeling and they relate to that specific insight or observation.
Yeah.
So, bata pa lang ako, going back, yun na agad, I didn't know that it was a feeling or a validated emotion. But I was feeling it during high school pa lang. Na I love it when I point something out and another person says, oo nga, no? Yun yung oo nga, no part. May sinabi ka tapos, oo nga, no? Okay yun,
Yeah.
Yung validation na yun. And I like that. So that's why, after philosophy, nag-exam ako nung law school. Hindi ko tinapos, bro. Nung sa UST, nag-exam ako for law. Sabi ko, shit, do I want to read laws, these thick books every day for the rest of my life? I think second page pa lang ako ng exam. Ako yung unang nag-submit kasi hindi ko na tinapos.
Kinabahan yung mga tao nun.
Oo.
Galing niya siguro. Tapos yun,
Naka-chest out pa ako. Okay, tapos na po, sir. Tapos, tawag dito. And then my mom was in advertising. Sabi ko, parang ayoko mag-law. Gusto ko na magtrabaho. Sabi ko, ano pwedeng creative work? Sabi nanay ko, mag-advertising ka, creative. Sulat-sulat ka lang doon. Sabi ko, okay, sulat-sulat lang. Sabi niya, one example is kung copywriter ka. Nakita mo yan? Yung bida ang saya ng Jollibee. Yan lang gagawin mo line. Not knowing na yes, ganun nga yung gagawin mo, pero mag-overtime ka every day sa advertising for you to get that best line out of your insight. So, I loved it though. Loved the experience. Made a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And I believe that the most creative people are in advertising.
Yeah.
They just don't know it yet. So,
Like, even, I mean, shout out also to one of the hottest podcasts right now, sila Makoy.
yep.
Makoy Dubs. They were also, diba?
Yes.
Parang advertising background din sila.
Both of them are from very prestigious advertising companies. And that's why they're that good in promotion,
Yeah.
in creative work, discarte, how to land the punchline. Those two, I think, a lot of people may not agree, pero I think the last quarter of last year, 2025, I think they were the most valuable all-around comedians that we had during that time.
Yeah.
Na parang, eto na yung fourth quarter, Kobe Bryant landing the big shots. Na parang, whoa, out of nowhere, Boss Rufo, Makoy Dubs. Shout out.
Shout out. And oo nga pala, I should have guested them. So, guys, follow up po sila. Kasi umuha na
Dog Show
sila.
Divas.
Dog Show Divas. But anyway, thank you for sharing your story. Pero ako pinaka natuwa talaga ako doon is that it really is parallel eh. Parang grabe yung trabaho. And I think a lot of people don't see that because they go in like comedy shows and expect to have a good time.
Mhm.
And they parang, of course, ako as a para consumer, pasok dito, I'll get a few drinks and then have some fun. Not knowing like the hours that you guys put in to prepare for those things. Can you walk me through like how tedious is it in the creative sense? Kung
Okay.
paano kayo mag-prepare for like punchlines and jokes like that?
Sure. Grabe. Alikuenka answering the good questions. Okay. Yung preparation part, it really takes years for you to master a specific set. So in stand-up comedy, thanks to the veterans, not veteran, to the legends of stand-up comedy, Comedy Manila headliners, sila GB, Red, Vic, James Karahan, Cool Pals, and lahat. They managed to create a community of comedians where everyone values stage time. Na parang you would gain respect if they see you put in time to develop your material. So, instead of comedy, if you're new, you'll be given 3 minutes. So 3 minutes of do whatever you want to do, but make people laugh in 3 minutes. Because you won't be promoted to 5 minutes if you can make people laugh in 3 minutes. Not just make people laugh, make them laugh like for the entire 3 minutes that you're up on stage. So, binibilang yung, of course, ito na yung mga technical stuff na laughs per minute. There's such
Talaga?
yes. So, when you're starting, it's good to have that practice. Na land the punchline, timing, setup. Setup is the most important part to me in a joke. Setup, more than the punchline, the setup is where you build your foundation. So, in creating your material, sabi mo nga years and hours and hours yung binibigay mo. In developing one specific joke, and this is sa akin lang to like, in order for me to create a very high batting average kind of joke, kailangan mo siyang i-practice half a year.
No.
Yes. One joke, half a year. And it will start out as a 1 minute, 2 minute joke. But different styles kasi stand-up comedians.
Uh-huh.
Me personally, I like to stretch it out. 6 months yun. So magsimula siya 1 minute and then you make it even, you stretch it out, make it lengthier. tell a story out of it, it becomes 3 minutes. And then the next 3 months, may 5 minutes siguro up to 8 to 10 minutes na. So, to me, the process is very important because you need to test it out in different crowds. Not everyone would laugh at your joke. Kahit sinong stand-up comedian in history, kahit Dave Chappelle yan, bobomba at bobomba. Meaning, pag bumobomba is the joke wouldn't land that much. Walang tatawa. So, lahat naka-experience nun. There's no such thing, to me as a bulletproof joke. There's only high probability jokes na, okay, eto 75% tatawa mga tao dito.
I love the technicalities.
This is just me.
Yeah. I love how like the process is getting breakdowns.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us an experience where you told a joke, it bombed, and then how did you bounce back from that?
Where do I start? A lot of times, like, bobomba. In a week, siguro bobomba ka once. Because of how many the open mics are now. Open mics, this is where we test out our jokes. This is like the gym for stand-up comedians. Happens every week. 3 different places. Pili ka na lang dun. Whether you want to go to Brick Wall. Shout out to Mo's. Shout out to Brick Wall again. And The Cellar. Cool Pulse Bar. They have open mics there. So, babomba ka sa open mic room. Kasi, pag bago yung joke mo, wala namang kasiguraduhan na tatawa lahat ng tao. Ang nag-agree lang dyan, ikaw eh. At yung kaibigan mo sigurong pinag-testingan mo, bro, okay ba to? Ha, okay yan. And then when you perform it, ba't walang natawa dun? So it's an ongoing process. So back to your question, kung ano experience yung bumomba ako, I'll just tell you one example na lang na bumomba ako in front of a lot of people. So I opened for Alex Calleja. This was way back na to. Siguro 20,
OG.
ano pa to? Oo, 2022, 2023. He had a birthday show in BGC. And then, okay, to give you a visual of the entire thing of what's happening during that time. Do you know Diana Meneses?
Yeah.
So, it was a variety show. It was Alex's birthday. So, akyat si Diana. So, sumayaw siya and kumanta siya. And I was supposed to follow it. So imagine following Diana Meneses singing and dancing. And then here I come. Parang, okay guys, you wanna hear some jokes? Okay. Okay, ako si Leland. And mahilig ako mag-grocery, blah, blah, blah. And people were like, pagsasabi nito. Diba? So, it matters Context matters. I'm not making excuses.
Yeah.
And I went there for 5 to 7 minutes yata. I forgot, or maybe 10 even. But it felt longer. I did my first joke, which was the joke that I would consider what made me I am today. It was the grocery joke. It was the cashier and bagger joke. That's the only joke I did for the entire set, 7 to 10 minutes. And then, not to prolong it, pero the gist of the joke was bakit yung mga bagger sa grocery store required ba silang landiin lagi yung cashier? So it was that observation, and it was a long bit. So I had some giggles during that, pero I was cold sweat na ako. Bakit hindi nila nagigets pang matanda tong joke na to Sabi ko gano'n. And most of them were, 30, 40-year-olds. And nothing was landing. And then, charge to experience. And then, after that, I knew that they didn't like me from the right off the bat. Because the comedian after me, he fucking killed. So parang sabi ko, it's me. It's not the crowd, it's me. So
instant feedback of I fucked up that one.
Parang, that's me. Kumbaga, within the moment I turned the microphone over to the next comedian, the first line he said, I forgot. It was one of the comedians. Kalimutan ko kung sino But it was part of Alex's group. I think one of the comedy crew comedians right now, which is really good also. Forgot which one. First line pa lang, sabi ko, it's me. It's me, guys. And then, after that, it humanizes you.
Yeah.
Na parang, akala mo, lahat ng maganda mong jokes sa tawanan ng mga tao. Hindi, bro. It doesn't matter how experienced you are. If you have a joke that are not liked by majority of the people inside the room, they're not gonna laugh. And you need to, ang natutunan ko naman dun is how to pivot. Alam mo yun, they don't like that. Change the topic, maybe they'll relate to that more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yun yung pinaka-memorable sa akin kasi bago pa ako nun eh. Like, I didn't know what to do. Alam mo yung parang gusto mo na lang bumaba ng stage pero hindi pwede. Bayad ka eh. You need to perform.
You have to go through the whole bit.
Yes. Hindi pwede yun. Parang for example, Grab driver ka. Hatid mo yung pasahero mo. Pagod ka na. Sir, pwede ba dito na lang kayo? Hindi pwede yun eh. Kailangan mo siya ihatid sa destination. So parang ganun yung stand-up na bayad ka for 10 minutes. Perform for 10 minutes.
Shit. Like, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah.
I mean, well, of course, it's a good learning experience.
It is. And shout out to Alex Galea. It's been thank you for that experience.
Yeah. And again, but I can imagine like yung kaba mo na like, and then at that time wala kang baong iba kasi is that something that you guys do?